Just waking up from a nice dream. Bitcoin pumping on a live stream. Smile shine brighter than a high beam. Ever seen live trading on a widescreen? Bitcoin showing you the steps to own it. We got the alpha, I bet you want it. I'm having fun, send a lecture on it. Randy, put a little extra on it.
It's mutable and decentralized. No censorship or hard cap supply. It's open source and we classify the blockchain secure, and that's exactly why. It's hard money with a new plan. It bounced a lot like this new jam. If Bitcoin dipped, then we ain't gon' trip. I'ma be bullish on you, fam.
I'm a Bitcoin bestie. You gotta love it. 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 I'm a Bitcoin bestie. You gotta love it.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Daily Zest. I'm your host, Randi Hipper, here today on a lovely Wednesday. Happy midweek. We are popping off today. We are getting after it. And guys, we have more news on Clarity Act for everybody that blows up my DMs and comments. We are going through that today. Don't worry, keep calm on the lawn. We also have Bitcoin kind of in limbo. Are we ready for a pamp and damp? What's next? Also, what is a risk? Oh, is there something in jeopardy? Is crypto in jeopardy? Or is the trad system in jeopardy? Something we have to discuss today, as there was a new report that came out that just, woo, tickled the soul a little bit. We're going to talk about it, guys. Also, we are grieving the loss of a precious item of the Daily Zest, and I will get into that when we get into our breaking news. Guys, thank you again for joining us today. We do have a goal of 150 likes, 150 live viewers. So if you guys are ready for the Zest, the news, the education, please make sure you smash the like, subscribe, share this out with friends. Let's get after it today. We also have a subscriber goal. We do. We happen to do those. And the goal today is still remaining 26,030. YouTube is playing games, and we are not letting that bother us. That is psychological warfare, right, YouTube? Anyways, guys, if you are on TikTok, please join us on YouTube so I can see your comments and things of that nature. So let's get after it. Say good morning to me as I say good morning to you, and check out our two amazing sponsors of the show, Cakewell and Uphold. Guys, you can now trade stocks and ETFs on Uphold, so go check that out. All right, we got Jesse, Doge Bull, we got Silver Days, Mike Fulmer, Flat Earth, Shadow is here, Eddie Kane. We got David Bulls. We have My G is in chat. Black Hat is here. Nash, good morning. Bobby Flash, Crypto Stoner. Mark Smithson with these freaking comments today. John Legend, Mike Mazzone, Ray. Nor says, buenos dias, amigo. Welcome to the stream. We got Peace, and I think we got everyone. I don't know. Maybe I skipped people. Maybe I'm not seeing all the comments here. I see Mateable on one screen. Yeah, I think I'm missing people. I might not be. I don't know. But please make sure, if you have not yet, please smash the like and share. The more we engage and the more you chat and say good morning, the more that YouTube shares this out. So help your girl out and engage with this beautiful chat that we have. Guys, we have a lot of things going on today. So without further ado, let's get this done. Let's go into the market recap before we get into breaking news. So finally, the bubbles work today. I don't know why my bubbles haven't been working, but today I saw bubbles and I got very excited. Hash and Beats are one of our bigger gainers today, along with ETHFi. The rest of the market looks a little bit iffy. Again, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. Again, this is our cleaner charges, letting us know that we have been on a solid uptrend here. Looking at Bitcoin, $65,978 at the moment. We are down about 1%. Again, we need to blast right through 67, 69K. And go towards that 200-day SMA that is sitting at $72,687. Again, what's most important too is holding support here around 72K. Your bearish level to watch is still 60. We are looking at the momentum, which is flying right now. We also have the money flow that is slightly green. Let's freaking go. I love green money flow, guys. We love some green money flow. So make sure you guys are paying attention to that. Big stuff going going on. I really do think that Bitcoin is priming for something. She's been quite steady for months. And you know, when that happens, there's always a big move that is about to come through, which direction? We're going to hope for the upside here. Now, the VWAP is coming down ever so slightly. What we are looking at here too is the RSI. RSI is a little too ambitious for me. I think what's happening now, which is a slight pullback, is the best case scenario for the RSI. If you guys are bullish on Bitcoin, let me see these rocket emojis. We're going to take a gander at this hourly chart. If it loads today. There we go. So the hourly has been quite iffy, but you are seeing a lot of volume. You see this big green candle right here on the bottom. We are seeing volume. We're seeing green money flow here, but we've just been kind of treading lightly. I would like to see us conquer above that 66.6 and not 66.6, 66.8, and look towards that 67K. I think that is very important. And hopefully this VWAP flips and this red dot does not play out. And if we could get a green dot on the momentum, we have the VWAP flip, we could see some good stuff going on here today. That is the hope. Again, there is a lot of speculation with the whole Clarity Act shenanigan, which we will get into as well. We're just going to start off freaking hot and heavy. Breaking news. Let's do it. Today, friends and family, we are mourning the loss of the iconic heated mug. Guys, this was a gift that was given to me by a community member probably around 3-4 years ago now, if I'm thinking accurately. At least 3 years I've had this heated mug. And it's actually on right now, but this whole morning it's been off. I don't know why it decided to turn on now once I go live, because I was about to mourn the loss of this mug. And it's probably not going to last that long. So, guys, we are mourning the loss of my mug. I will use it until it literally does not work at all anymore. And it's quite the expensive mug, but it's lasted me over 3 years. So, you know, I'm grateful for the amount of time. Grow math. I mean, it was a gift and it lasted long, so it was worth the money. For whoever got this for me, thank you. And so, guys, let's just mourn the loss. Can I get coffee emojis in the chat? We need to mourn the loss of my mug. This mug means a lot to me because it was a beautiful gift, but also, like, I love a heated mug because I'm live, I'm yapping, and we need a warm beverage. We need a warm beverage. And so please put coffee emojis in the chat. Well, it's actually called the Next Mug is the brand, but we're mourning the loss because I tried to put it, there's warm, hot, and piping mode. And I always have it on hot mode, but the hot mode will no longer work and it just shuts off. So RIP the mug, we might have to invest in a new one. Because I love it. I love this mug. I get to walk around with it. I'm yapping. It's warm and not hot. So we need maybe a new mug to be ordered. Oh, mug. Anyways, had to share that with you guys. It's an integral part of this podcast, and it needed to be shared that we lost our mug. Amazon Prime is going to get an order today, perhaps. Or I'll just wait till it doesn't work at all. Either way, it's going to happen. Anyways, guys, let's get into real news here. And we're going to start off with, it's going to get hot. It's going to get spicy today because digital currency advocacy is through the roof right now. We're seeing a lot of talks on Capitol Hill and in DC. I was actually on a meeting with mainstream media yesterday, and they're like, Randy, what do you think about what's going on right now? And I said, we're moving slow. We're moving slow in the US, but at the same time, we are slowly moving forward with crypto regulation to a sort. Now, what I found very interesting this morning, before we get to Clarity Act.
You're welcome.
Oh,
thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. You're
Let's
welcome.
start a new mug fund.
Thank you. Thank you. We should have a new mug fund. Perhaps I can start a goal for that. I could do a goal. Let's I'll put the amount that I need to get the mug. So 10 has to be 10, at least 10 or 15 supers, at least $10 or more, because this was like when I looked it up, it was an expensive mug. So we'll leave this for the next 30 minutes. We'll see if it works. Again, we don't have to do that. It's just Jesse started it, so I'll just throw it in there. So thank you guys. RIP my mug, I know. So what I found very spicy this morning was the fact that Digital Chamber, which I love Digital Chamber Group and what they've been doing, they are suing Illinois because of their crypto or digital asset tax. Again, the whole attack on crypto through taxation is just buck wild to me. And I think we need to like lock in as a country, and each of these states need to lock in and realize like if they're gonna start messing with taxation and especially like hindering the adoption of digital assets, they will, as a state, a city, as a country, will be left behind. And it's quite embarrassing that this is what's going on in the US. But Digital Chamber is not gonna stop if they have something to say about it. A crypto lobbying organization has sued the state of Illinois over the last-minute tax provision inserted into the state budget last month. Again, they're sneaky, bro. They're sneaky. Digital Chamber alleged that Illinois' Digital Asset Tax Act violated both the U.S. and state constitutions and is preempted by federal tax law. Again, taxation without representation, buddies. The lawsuit asked a federal judge to block the Illinois state government from enforcing the tax. Again, if it's not constitutional, we should not have it. It shouldn't even be an argument here. But the tax violates their state constitution's uniformity and due process clause and the Commerce Clause of the U.S. Constitution and the Internet Tax Freedom Act by specifying digital asset transactions according to the lawsuit. Oh, shoot.
You definitely deserve a new mug.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, David. Very sweet. Very sweet. Thank you. The Digital Asset Tax Act was passed and approved on short notice last month against sneaky sneakies. Right before the Illinois state government wrapped up its session for the year, the 0.2% tax applies to any entities that are based in Illinois or provide services with gross receipts over $100,000. The tax takes effect in January. Again, this is fake. This is fakeness. And I do not like it. How dare you, Illinois? How freaking dare you? Because again, it hurts the state's economy. All these people that are crypto-based are going to dip. They're going to dip. And that's bad for them. The TDC's lawsuit, the Digital Chamber, said that the Internet Tax Freedom Act alone created a rule that electronic commerce would not be subjected to discriminatory state and local taxation.
Cold coffee reminds me of Liz Warren.
Freaking facts, Andy. There you go. That's a statement. Thank you very much. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate that. The act does not distinguish between gains and losses, between profitable and unprofitable transactions, between realized and unrealized appreciation, or between transfers that change ownership and transfers that do not. It distinguishes only between TradFi infrastructure and blockchain infrastructure. Again, there is no clarity. Reminds me of the actual Clarity Act, which I call Clarity freaking Schmerity. Speaking of clarity, schmerity, and all these ridiculous things that go on in politics, we are actually looking at the Clarity Act and the updates regarding that. Again, we do have an after show as well. It's Wednesday for all my members. If you guys have not yet, please go ahead and use your member emojis in chat. If you have access to the emojis, you also have access to the after show. So please make sure you smash the like and share. Now, Eleanor Terrett has been a major, mouthpiece for what goes on Capitol Hill. She gets all the insider info, and she actually confirmed a reporting that she had that they were going to have bipartisan talks on Capitol Hill regarding these ethics provisions that they wanted to add into the Clarity Act. Again, what they're majorly concerned about is the fact that Dems are like, bro, Donnie T should not be able to launch a meme coin. Fair. But then they're trying to add all of these other things that are not relevant to this bill. And I think that these Dems are out of their mind, and some of the Republicans are out of their mind too. We're going to be completely honest here. So apparently, Donnie T somewhat agreed to an ethics package, but this is what Eleanor tweeted. She said a few days ago that there was an agreement in the White House for an ethics package. She then retweets and said bipartisan discussions are taking place on ethics. She said negotiators are also discussing DeFi provisions, but ethics remains the primary hurdle. Again, DeFi is... Let me break this down for the boomers, the boomer politicians that should be in nursing homes. Decentralized finance. So you cannot regulate something that you cannot literally control at any sort of point. So good luck. This should not even be part of the bill. It should be protecting the developers. But to say, oh, we're going to regulate DeFi, bro, we're going to tax you on your DeFi. Like, you actually just can't do that. You can't do that. So good luck. Good luck, buddies. Anyway, she continues, asked about the ethics proposal. Spokesperson for Senator Cynthia Lummis, Queen, said last week's conversation with the White House, quote, went well, and that, quote, the ethics text set to release in the coming days would reflect that productive conversation. She then follows it up again and said Axios confirmed and added to her earlier reporting that the bipartisan ethics discussions are underway, and Senator Thom Tillis spearheading negotiations on the GOP side. So again, we'll see what happens there. Like, that is major stuff. But again, we still have the Clarity Act. It's at the mercy of the ethics. And according to reports today, Dems are still not happy, even though the White House supposedly, allegedly agreed to an ethics package. Dems are said to be unhappy with some of the details emerging about the market structure bill's most contentious section. Again, the language that would ban gov officials from significant crypto ties. And so the deepest current point of the disagreement is who would enforce the ban, and the industry insiders were told that the Dems would have held tight their preference that state attorney general be able to enforce these ethics restrictions, while the White House and Repubblics are like insisting that the U.S. attorney generals should be the top authority. Now, I am hearing, like, through the grapevine too, that like the CFTC would have a major hand in this. Again, like, it just doesn't really make sense to me. Any of these people having a hand in it, I don't think it's any of their job. The SEC is for securities. Can you really box crypto into security? No. Can you box it into a commodity? No. So the CFTC and the SEC having any sort of purview makes no sense to me. Attorney generals, still, I do think we just need a new commission. We need a new commission for the 21st freaking century, okay? Because we're looking at the SEC that has rules that they're trying to follow from literally about 100 years ago when you couldn't even conceive of digital technology. So, yikes, bro. We need to update this. I think, you know how we get like the iOS updates on our phone, like iOS 17, 21, 4000? I think we need like a little bit of an update in the US Gov. I think we need a whole new commission established for digital currency, for digital oversight. I think there's just too many things that are going on in the digital age that they actually just can't keep up with. And that's not their fault particularly, it's just how the system was built. But that doesn't mean we can't insert something new so that we could be up to date with the digital age and move at the pace of the digital age. This is what I told mainstream media yesterday. I was like, hey, bro, like we need to keep going. We need to be at a pace that fits Gen Z and also competes with other countries, because all these other countries are very, very much farther ahead of us. And that's not good for the US if we're trying to be the crypto capital of the world. Now, August 7th, which is a fast approaching final day before the Senate's go and touch grass for their summer recess. It's seen as a major deadline for the Clarity Act, and insiders are expecting this bill to get to the floor as soon as the beginning of next week, which would fit Senate Majority Leader John Thune had previously indicated. The legislation could require several days to get a final vote. Again, before these people go and touch grass, essentially, we need to get this passed. But if they can't agree on an ethics package, again, how are we going to pass the bill? And even the things in the bill aren't exactly that clear. That's the English for you. Someone said, can you speak English? I'm speaking English. So essentially, they need to get along before they go touch grass. That's essentially what's happening here. And so we'll see what Donnie T says. I'm surprised he didn't like Truth Social bomb us and be like, hey, yo, here's a text, hey, Dems, you suck, everyone sucks, this is what I think. Like, I would love if he could just say something and give us a little bit of an inkling as to what he agreed to and how he feels about the ethics provision, again, because his family has deep ties. He profited over $1 billion from crypto. I'm genuinely interested in what Donnie T actually thinks about this. So I'm interested. So that's just it. Bobby said, you're not getting the Clarity Act. I mean, we don't know. We'll see. We'll see if we get the Clarity Act. We're gonna find out. We're gonna mess around to find out here, I guess. But even like recent reports on like Kalshi, Polymarket, people are putting it at like 50% odds that we get the Clarity Act. Again, the US needs to like put their foot down. I would love a statement from Donnie T on crypto. And if he's still bullish, if he is like bullish on Clarity Act, what he thinks about it. Like genuinely, I want opinions here. Even Sir Patrick Witt, which is like the top White House crypto advisor, he was supposed to be going back for military training, but he's like, hey, yo, we got deferred. I'm locked in and we're going to get the Clarity Act passed. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. So also, speaking of crypto enforcement and governments, I actually want to skew over to Pakistan really quick. I thought this was interesting, wanted to show it to you. That Pakistan is stepping up their crypto enforcement with a dedicated federal unit. And how crazy is that? I've been saying, hey, yo, like maybe we need to update some things in the US to catch up. Freaking Pakistan. Bro, I gotta show this to you. I had to show this to you. So Pakistan's Federal Investigation Agency, the FIA, established a dedicated investigative unit to probe cases involving cybercrime and financial fraud linked to crypto. Again, they'll probably use this as a weapon against crypto rather than helping it, but first reported by Dawn News on Tuesday, the Crypto Investigation Unit would probe digital asset use in crimes, while their Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority, PIVARA, would continue being responsible for the regulation. Now their counterterrorism wing director, Mohammed Athar Wahid, reportedly recommended other agencies in the country establish similar units to address crypto-related crime. It was said back in 2025 that Pakistan ranked as the world's third largest crypto market by retail activity. Even freaking CZ from Binance said at the same event that Pakistan's crypto regulation and adoption could, due to that, can become a world leader in crypto. So the US is just allowing all these other countries to get ahead of us. And I'm like, whoa, bro, let's lock in. The problem in the US is that they need to listen to people like CZ. They also need to listen to people like Gen Z, like the millennials, because we're the ones that are actually going to use it. So all these like old people that don't even know how to send an email are regulating crypto. That's a problem because they're doing damage for the next generation that's going to be using this. And again, I would even go back to how this is all theater. None of this is really going to matter in the future. Why? Because they actually just can't stop what we're doing. Crypto is decentralized. Bitcoin is decentralized. DeFi is decentralized finance. You literally cannot stop what we're doing here, but you can hold it back. And so I do think that we need some millennials, we need some Gen Z to step in and say, hey, bros, this is the direction we should be going. Because while all this theater is going on, the real actors are in the background. The banks, the institutions building their own blockchain, moving billions of dollars. And no one bats an eye. So you know what's really going on behind the scenes. So why don't we bring that to the forefront, stop corrupting clarity, stop corrupting everything, and let it fly. Let us fly like little freaking birdies. Let us fly. That's a problem. And you know what's also a problem is the BIS. You guys know how I feel about the BIS, which is the Bank for International Settlements. These people are a conglomerate of central bankers from around the world, every country that doesn't get along, yet they all get along when it comes to money, when it comes to control, when it comes to central bank digital currencies. And the BIS is just like, we didn't vote for these people. I'm just wondering, like, we didn't elect you. So who are you to tell the world what to do? Yet they just keep yapping. And so what they're yapping about right now is the fact that they said stablecoins can weaken capital controls. Oh, keyword, control. I found this absolutely hilarious. And I love when these people yap because they just make themselves look even more silly. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter what they say. Why? Because you cannot stop what's happening here. And it shows their weakness. While they complain, while they try to be like, we're so tough. Whoa, look at us, central bankers. They just show their weakness. And I think it's it's psychological warfare. So you have to see through the psychological craziness. They said that dollar-backed stablecoins are creating a new form of digital dollarization, that appears largely unaffected by capital controls, especially in emerging markets. They said governments may have less ability to curb stablecoin adoption. Whoa! So you're basically saying people have the power in their hands. And you don't have the power. That's what that said. And they were like, oh, shoot, bro. If people are moving their fiat into dollar-backed stablecoins, which again does help the dollar, which all these countries are trying to take out the dollar right now as the world's reserve currency. They're like, oh, if people are putting money in stablecoins because they actually have access to money that they can move 24/7, 365 with no intermediaries, the banks lose money, they lose their deposits, which, again, the banks said themselves in the US and in Europe that your deposits in the bank are a low-cost funding mechanism for lending and borrowing. Word for word, that was in an article. Word for word. So they're telling you we're losing money because you're gaining control over your own. Just letting you know. And again, it even says it here. According to their study, they said stablecoins could undermine monetary sovereignty. The opposite, but okay, keep deflecting. By allowing households and businesses to shift into dollars outside the banking system, particularly in emerging markets with weak currencies and limited access to reliable financial services. So they say that's a risk. When if you're one of the people living in a country with triple-digit inflation, again, imagine you're living in a country where you get paid today, then by next Wednesday, it's worth nothing. Yeah, I'd rather a stable coin. I'd rather the dollar. I'd rather Bitcoin at that point. But no, they say this is a risk because they're not able to deteriorate economies through the central banks. That's the problem that they have. And again, this is theater because in the background, they're cooking up CBDCs and they're cooking up their own digital asset treasuries that most likely will include Bitcoin. Mark my freaking words. You will see these central banks buy Bitcoin and they'll tell you after the fact. So while everyone's sitting here yapping and complaining about Bitcoin price, what is everyone doing in the background and who's front running you? Those are the questions that you should be asking. So they're telling you we're upsetty spaghetti because we lose money because you gain access to your own. That is it. That is exactly what they're telling you. So please see right through the madness. Understand that Bitcoin and crypto is the gift of a century, of multiple centuries, generations. Because we're breaking the wheel of who controls our money, who creates the money, and who controls your worth. We are not playing this game anymore, and they're upset about it. So they're framing it as a risk for us when it's really a risk for them. Look in the mirror. It's pure deflection. Psychological warfare. Happy I got to break this down for you today. Other than that, I'm a happy freaking camper. Let me tell you, I'm a happy camper. I am out here for Bitcoin and crypto adoption. I will fight to the death for this space, and I will never stop. I will never, ever, 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 ever stop defending crypto, defending freedom, and issuing and ushering the next generation into this space. Because when you look at what's happening, and if you ignore the noise, you see what goes on, which is the entire stock market, the entire world is going digital, and it's going to live on blockchain. Therefore, all of this is undervalued. It's all undervalued. So I don't care about Bitcoin price today. I don't care about Bitcoin price tomorrow. I even tweeted yesterday, which everyone thought I was hinting at something. No, I'm not having children right now, y'all. We're single Pringles out here. But I did say this.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
Oh, shoot.
You're
And my
welcome.
God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus.
Period.
Philippians 4:19. God meets our needs, including the comfort of a coffee mug warmer. Latin pros emoji, heart emoji.
Preach. Amen and amen. Amen and amen. Thank you for that piece. Thank you. I tweeted this yesterday. I said, I'm buying Bitcoin for my future kids. So I don't care about the noise right now. I see through the theater. I've been here for so long. I've known about Bitcoin for 10 years. I'm 23. I've known about Bitcoin since I was 13 years old. 13, I've known about this thing. So I've seen the highs, the lows, the in-betweens, the lulls, and I even told mainstream media yesterday, I was like, y'all, this is nothing to worry about. This is a time to build. It's a time to learn, because you build in the bear, so you prosper in the bull. I stand by that. 10 toes down. All 5'2" of me. Yeah. Yeah, no, Liz Warren is messing around to find out. Absolutely. Absolutely. Den said it's a fire sale right now, period. Absolutely. 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 So thank you guys for being here today. I popped off today, but we do have a members only after show. So if you want to continue chatting with me, I will answer your questions. If you are on TikTok, go to YouTube, become a member of the YouTube channel. You attach that membership to Discord, and you will be in our members only after show. So what I ask of you right now is to take a breath, because I don't know if I have today. Take a breath, sip your coffees, go into Discord, and get after it with me. I'm feeling #blessed to be here. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Please smash the like, subscribe, share this out with friends. Have a beautiful day. And I will see you in Discord right now. Please become a member of the channel. Support us. And so we can keep going and doing this thing every day. Thank you guys so much. Smash the like, subscribe, share it out with friends. And I will see you guys in Discord and on the stream tomorrow. Stay zesty. Mwah. Peace.